there's one thing I hate, it's that intro. I missed the old one. I didn't like the jungle vibe of that. It just didn't work with me. It did not.
It's not the same.
It is
Nothing
not
will
the
be like
same.
the old one was so elite.
But you know what? It is the same. It's us. We are For the Fan. This is episode number 158. As always, I am Will, and we got Dom and we got Jake here. Gentlemen, hello.
What's up?
And as always, you can follow us on the platforms down below. YouTube For the Fan Network, TikTok For the Fan Network, X For the Fan _, and Instagram For the Fan Football. Gentlemen, we have already surpassed 1 week, and we already got a lot of shit for what we said about the AFC North, which is good.
No way.
Oh,
Where?
Yeah, on YouTube. We're big on YouTube.
I love
Ravens.
that.
Ravens, just we're going up.
Oh,
Up and up.
You didn't say anything wrong with the Ravens.
The Ravens were a big target last year too on the
Pretty
YouTube.
sure it was all positive about them.
I thought so too.
Last year was the Packers, but we'll end up getting to them at
The
one
Packers
point.
were up.
Yeah, well, guess what? They were bums. So
But today, AFC East, the Patriots, the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Bills are all on tap here. Any expectations, excitement? Dom, it's our team. It's our teams this week.
I just get to sit back and talk shit.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
Do you ever know anything? I think that's just your go-to thing. I don't know.
That is go.
Do you ever know anything? Do you ever
right
know
in the middle and say, I don't know.
That's
I don't know.
That's usually. I mean, to be fair, that's how I've treated the Patriots over the past couple years. Is I don't know.
Oh, I feel so bad for
actually,
you.
This is why I say I don't know.
Brian Bulaga, Iowa. All right. You are listening to For the Fan.
You are listening to For the Fan.
So in these previews, we start out with the loser in the division, aka the last team, and we work our way to the division winner, which is usually the last team we talk about for these episodes. So without further ado, we're gonna just go right in here, raw dogging, no anything. We're gonna go right in, talk about the New England Patriots, where a year ago it began the post-Bill Belichick era of New England Patriot football, who everyone thought was never going to die. It was just going to be Belichick till the end of the world, and that stuff, the Twinkies, Belichick, the cockroaches, all that stuff, they're just going to survive till the end. Well, they move on. They bring in Gerard Mayo, the heir to the hierarchy of the Belichick throne. And they go out week one. They upset the Bengals, which honestly changed the path of two franchises for the rest of the season. Patriots, they didn't really play up to expectations, but Drake May did come out and he did ball out, and he showed a lot of hope for the Patriots, which they had at Mac Jones, who they drafted a couple years back. So for year number 2, Gerard Mayo and a new head coach, one who has some Super Bowl expertise with him there. Let's go to the next slide here. Mike Vrabel is now the head coach of the New England Patriots, which is wild. But looking at the offense here, Drake May, quarterback 1. Then you have the Pastronaut from a couple years back, Joshua Dobbs. He returns as the backup for New England. They draft Travion Henderson in the second round. They revamped this receiving core, which was really in a lackluster mode, I should say. Stephon Diggs they bring in, who's coming off an ACL injury. Matt Collins, who, if you don't know him, he walks around barefoot everywhere. That's what he does best. And then they revamped the offensive line, where Drake May was sacked 35 times in 11 games last year. So they bring in Morgan Moses from the Jets. Garrett Bradbury they take up from the Vikings. And they draft Will Campbell to be the anchor of that offensive line, Drake May's blind side, with the number 4 overall pick in this year's draft. I'm going to bring us out here. And gentlemen, what do you guys think about the revampedness of the Patriots? Very Mike Vrabel-y. It looks very Mike Vrabel.
I think they had a really great offseason.
I just think it's funny because last week we went over all these teams through these depth charts, and you didn't see that many of these green names, which is undrafted free agents. And it is, although Belichick is not there, it is very Patriots to have this many undrafted free agents on here. So I thought that was kind of funny. But I really enjoy actually what we've done with the offensive line. I like these, especially since we talked Bengals last week, and I wasn't the most, anxious about the moves that the Bengals did on offensive line. I do like these moves in free agency that we've made with these offensive linemen, Morgan Moses, Garrett Bradbury. Obviously, Will Campbell was third overall?
Fourth overall.
I don't think Mac Hollins is just like, I know that's what the depth chart has him at, is like up here. Like he's like one of our 3 receivers, main guys, but I don't think that would be the case. Whatever, that's depth. I don't mind this receiving core, really don't. We'll see how Stephon Diggs goes, because I really, really, really think he's getting into that era of, so talented receiver, does the things, but also, has all the drama off the field now that he's dating Cardi B, and that's all I see on social media that has to do with him. So, we'll see.
Nothing like boats and all that stuff being talked about, locker room leader, and then boom, just a video of you on a boat, something in a bag. I don't really want to comment too much further on this. But I think some of the other big surprises here, though, Jalen Polk kind of slid down the depth chart here with Javon Baker. Obviously, that was Gerard Mayo's draft picks. This is Mike Vrabel's team. So they're going to be shifted outwards and maybe find some replacements along the line, which obviously they did in the free agency section for receiving core, which Drake May needs if he wants to succeed. And also we have to mention Hunter Henry, baller. Austin Hooper, baller.
I mean, the options are here. The options for him to throw to, they're there. This is a competent wide receiver room, a very competent wide receiver room. And now Stephon Diggs, who could arguably be a number 1 on an NFL roster still, I think, or at least still has a talent to, so it's the options are there. The running game should very well be there. It's a competent offense. It's the most competent offense that they've seen since Brady, I think. So we'll see. I mean, I expect improvement on this offense. I expect a legitimate improvement on the offense. I don't think it's going to be like some top 10 offense, but I expect competition for sure.
Let's head over to the defensive side of the football, where there is a whole lot of new attractions, a whole lot of new pieces here for the Patriots. They went out and they spent big in free agency. That's not a Patriots move. This is a once-in-a-lifetime thing. Only happened 4 years ago, so it really feels like a lifetime since then. They get Milton Williams on a gigantic contract. They get Carlton Davis out of Detroit, bring him in to be a complementary piece to Christian Gonzalez on the other side of the ball. Robert Spillane, Kavion Chansey, both linebackers from the Raiders a year ago. And then Vrabel brings in his guys, Harold Landry, Jack Gibbons, 2 former Titans players who make their way upwards to Foxborough. But this defense is here to play, and this is a very big and this, I have no other words, but this is a Mike Vrabel defense, to say the least.
I kind of like it. I mean, the guys that were good are still there from last year for the most part. I really don't mind Carlton Davis. The Milton Williams thing, yeah, it's a really gigantic contract, so there is that, and we'll see how that goes. I certainly don't think
did outpace. They did outpace the Panthers though with that contract. They did give him a couple extra $1 million. He was going to be a Carolina Panther until the 11th hour, where Vrabel just gave him a blank check and said, "Come up here."
Yeah, that contract's, I don't know.
big. It's big. It's definitely big.
It's a big doom.
Now, if we're gonna like lean on him a little bit, sure, but like, I don't know. Here's the thing: is I do trust Vrabel, and I think a majority of us do.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope it works out. That I'm optimistic, but we'll see. It needs to be proven a little bit, but we'll see.
Just this front seven's like really good. This is just smash mouth football. They're gonna, bring you pressure right up the gut here every single time. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
I really want to see what the rookies do because they had a really good draft between offense and defense. Will Campbell, all that's said about his arms, but like two of the guys who I thought were bigger steals of the draft, and Farmer and Swinson, and they got both of them. Swinson, if they just keeps a lid on his attitude, all the athletic stuff's there.
Yeah, I mean, I and Vrabel uses a lot of the guys, so we'll see.
Yeah, if he went to any other team besides like Vrabel or like a Dan Campbell, I think he'd be a bust. But those guys, you trust them to keep guys in line.
I don't mind this. I think, really, ultimately, what looking at this depth chart shows us, and keeping Vrabel in mind, I really think it just says that this should be an improved team and at least a very much more competitive team. I'm not thinking like, oh, hey, man, playoffs in the sights. But I think we should be able to compete for playoffs. I think in this division, I mean, I don't know what the Bills are, but I think that we can compete in games now for a majority of the season, and I'm okay with that. I'm happy about that.
His only bad season with the Titans was his last season. And then he ended up getting fired after, which was a complete bad move there by the Tennessee organization.
That was a management decision.
It was like their management, finally like continuing to trip over themselves over and over and over.
Yeah.
Trading AJ and then immediately firing the guy. And then that guy comes in and makes all these mistakes. And
then they fired him, year after firing Vrabel.
Yeah, Vrabel like that final thing where it's like, okay, we just ruined this whole franchise.
Blow it up. Let's go to the schedule here. Big week 1 matchup there against the Raiders. Tom Brady comes to town. I don't know if they're honoring him or anything like that, but
we already have.
Oh yeah, they've honored him so many times. But yes, Raiders a big one, week 1. Really highlighting everything else. That 3-game road stretch is going to be difficult, but concluding that in Tennessee, Vrabel might have some choice things to say, and there'll be football regulated terms, not anything else on those other terms. But yeah, one Thursday night game. I think it's against the Jets there on week number 11. So yeah, I got nothing else to say on the schedule, but let's kind of pull out here for a second.
Of our quick overviews, counting wins, I got 7 right off the bat. Like pretty easy, not stretch wins. Not in a row. I'm just saying. Like,
tell you what, if we needed that last game, it being at home in January against the Dolphins is kind of nice.
Yeah, that wasn't even including that one. I just got to like the bye week, and I'm like, oh.
They gave us that one because we play away in September versus Dolphins. Cool, like it'll be hot. Like it'll be hot anyway.
It'll be hot. You probably lose because it's 1,000 degrees.
Like 1,000,000,000%. But giving us the home game in January is kind of nice.
And you'll be playing their third stringers.
Yeah. No matter what happens.
Yeah, I got 6 wins here. A lot of trips to Florida. You got the Dolphins early, and then you have the Buccaneers in November. At least you get like 2 warm games. I mean, also playing in Buffalo too pretty early is a benefit for them as well.
I don't really think
I don't think timing of that matters. I think they probably.
I mean, I would rather face them in September, October, November rather than December because that's when they're just the most powerful.
Did we beat them in that game where we passed like twice?
Yeah.
So I mean, like, I'm not that worried.
Well, I mean, that was also Belichick saying, I'm going to be the Army coach. I'm going to be the Navy coach. Triple option every play.
Yeah, well, I mean, the wind was like 6,000 miles an hour. Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what I was saying. Whatever.
Honestly,
somewhere in the 7-8 range of.
I wouldn't be surprised to even get 9 because Vrabel in his first year with the Titans, I mean, he almost got him to the playoffs. It came down to that week 17 game against the Colts, which, Andrew Luck and the Colts ended up prevailing in it, but they looked really good in that game, and that was with Marcus Mariota at quarterback. So I wouldn't be surprised if they can even sneak out a 9th win. But I
Yeah.
think 6 is there. It just kind of depends. Like, okay, how's the rest of the schedule going to be going down, laying out?
It's like I said, improvement. I think this is an improved and more competitive team than last year, and I don't know what more you could kind of expect or hope for. So we did what we could. Groundwork is laid. Vrabel is a good coach. There's a future to the team, hopefully, and that's all you can really wish for, I think, to be honest.
Just got to be building off of those
that
last
one-
3 seasons of bleh.
Hold on. Throw the schedule back up there. Sorry to cut you off. I noticed something. Does that say Week 11 Jets and Patriots night game?
Yeah, Thursday Night Football.
Oh my God.
Listen, Amazon has to have one. Amazon's got to have one bad Thursday Night Football game. Okay.
One bad.
Just one?
No, they have a pretty good schedule this year. They really do. They have a pretty quality schedule. I'm a little surprised here, but let's get the question out of the way too. What will make this season successful for the New England Patriots in 2025?
It's keeping Drake May upright so you can actually see what he can do.
Yeah.
He was sacked way too many times. It was
35?
34 times for 229 yards with 6 lost fumbles.
That part's not pretty.
That's not good. You got to keep him upright so you can actually play the position of quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, again, if you do that, I think the team improves. And like we said, I think success this year is being a competitive team, being playoff fringe, or at least kind of being in the hunt to the end of the season, I think would be a success. I would call that success. I'd be happy about that.
I mean, also if you just see if you see an obvious Vrabel attitude shift, that'd be a pretty solid win in for them.
That and a stable Drake May year. Not like, oh, the team sucks, but Drake's kind of playing okay and good here and there. But we got nothing to lose, whatever. I need a stable year. Improvement was made. Competes in games. In the hunt. Maybe even the back end of the hunt by the end of the season. But at least being competitive.
I really want to see what Stephon Diggs can do coming off the ACL, because who knows if he's going to play week 1. Obviously, he probably got surgery mid-November and he tore it mid-October. They kind of give him a couple weeks to really work out the legs, try to get as strong as you can before going under the knife. So I think that's also another thing to look out for.
It is. You're right. We'll see.
Shall we move on? Shall we go down I-95 here and go to the armpit of America here? The MetLife of itself, the New York Jets, were in 2024. They had a lot of high hopes. Aaron Rodgers coming off the Achilles tear. They had to keep him upright. They acquire a bunch of players, including Hall of Famer Tyron Smith. Looked pretty good through the first couple of weeks, 2-1, and then the wheels fell off the wagon, and a bad loss to the Broncos, followed by another bad loss to the Vikings in the UK. Salah gets fired. Rodgers goes off about the red line. Devontae Adams comes in at one point. Woody Johnson's kids making trades for the team. Joe Douglas gets fired. And then, it kind of all falls apart. But there is some good parts for this team. Pictured right there, the new highest paid corner in the league, Sauce Gardner, who just signed the deal just the other day, $30.1 million on average. So there is some bright spots here for the New York Jets as we move forward in the post-Aaron Rodgers experiment. And now, 31 years later, Aaron Glenn returns, and he's a first-time head coach here for the New York Jets with Darren Mogi, something like that, to lead this team in a maybe different direction. On the offense here, Aaron Rodgers moves on. Justin Fields comes in, who did play really good for 4 games that he did start for the Steelers last season. Tyrod Taylor still the backup quarterback. They try to solidify the rest of this offensive line, drafting Membu out of Mizzou. This offensive line looks as good as it's ever been, probably in the last 16 years. You got to go back all the way to 2009, 2010. Jason Taylor's kid, he's the tight end for the New York Jets, Mason Taylor. They also revamped the receiving core here. Josh Reynolds and Tyler Johnson for the receiving core there. I got a whole lot of nothing else. I kind of want to give a lot of credit there for the offensive line because on paper it could be really, really good. They haven't had that since the era of DeBrickashaw Ferguson, Nick Mangold, Alan Faneca, Brian Moore, Damian Woody, which was a stellar offensive line. So if they could probably live up just underneath them, they could be keeping this potential triple option alive with this backfield, including Breece Hall, Andrew Beck, Braylon Allen, Isaiah Davis, and also Donovan Edwards. Can Donovan Edwards make the team? Really fell out of the sights of everyone last year, but that is my discussion of this offense.
That's really all you got?
That's really all I got. I mean, I don't got anything. This isn't Aaron Rodgers. I mean, listen, I was a lot more excited for her, but listen, you bring in Justin Fields. You look at how this whole thing works. Rodgers got Devontae Adams, and it looked like nothing changed. They looked like they played with each other for a decade, and they were separated for 3 years. Justin Fields and Garrett Wilson rejoin after being apart for 4 years, ever since Ohio State. So they played together for 2 years, 2019 and 2020, which they ended up winning a national championship in. So it looks like it's on the up there for the Jets. Maybe that's what Fields needs, just a guy that he really knows personally, and he could throw him the ball, and he knows that his guy's going to go out and make the catch.
Brees had a good game, a good year last year, right?
I think it was just short of 1,000 yards.
Oh.
He was dealing with some knee stuff, so, I don't know. He didn't play upwards to what he did in 2023, but he, I think it was a couple yards short of 1,000. But Garrett broke 1,000 yards for like the third straight season.
See, as much as I like Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall, Braylon Allen, and I liked Mason Taylor before the draft. It's like I cannot get excited for like more than 8 wins for a Justin Fields team.
I'm going to be honest with you. How many wins did the Jets have last season?
5.
And
it can't be. Yeah.
Rodgers threw 28 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like it was just this.
Listen, once they fired the coach, it was just over there because what's his face wasn't he didn't give up defensive play calling just to be the interim guy as the interim head coach. Yeah. So he was trying to take on 2 jobs at once. And if you're not really trained for that, then it's kind of you're in for a bad time.
I have a hard time.
When you should pizza when you French fry.
I have a hard time genuinely justifying that this offense puts up 28 passing touchdowns. I
think it could put up 28 touchdowns.
Okay.
They might be rushing touchdowns, but I don't think it's going to be 28 passing touchdowns. It's going to be
I just have a hard time saying that this is a better offense than last year.
I just see. Here's the thing: is like because of Justin Fields, like he's never won more than 5 games, and he's had full years starting, and he's had these stretches where he looks good, and these stretches where he looks just like, how are you in the NFL? It's like, which one are we going to get? And I'm not doing this whole thing with this division anymore. Like, I'm just going to assume you're all bad.
I really feel like this is such a bridge year for the Jets. I mean, like you said, the offensive line is there. I think run game should be great. Run game should be fantastic. And if Breece is 100% healthy and good and back to what we saw like 2 years ago, he should be putting up 1,500 yards and be rushing for 10 or so touchdowns. That should be awesome. But I don't know how competitive the offense is going to be if they're behind, if they need to pass so much. If Justin Fields had great stretches, like really great stretches. And I think you have the threat of him rushing and scrambling as well. And he did a decent job with that for Chicago. I don't know. I feel like this is such a bridge year where the offense is potentially I really have a hard time. First of all, Aaron Rodgers threw 28 touchdowns last year, and it felt like they were shit. I don't curse on here.
Because it wasn't like Rodgers did as much as he could, but like once you get rid of the head coach and all that stuff, like the team was just going to implode right from there.
I agree. But I don't think that the talent that was there last year is here this year, at least in the passing game. I don't know. I really have a hard time saying that it's improvement from last year, but I think it's better set up for a future. Plug in a few good guys, especially that passing offense, and the rushing offense should be so established from this year to next. So We'll see. I mean, it's kind of where I sit with the Patriots, where it's like, all right, some groundwork may be laid, but I don't think this is like, hey, playoffs are in the sights,
Oh, and here's the best part about the Fields contract. Okay, it's a 2-year deal.
Yeah.
Most of it's guaranteed in just year one. If he plays like shit, I mean, hey, you could be in the area to draft a quarterback, and you just chop him off and have very minimal dead money. So that's like the only good part about his contract. But if he plays good, then you're kind of screwing yourself because it's like, okay, now he's going to want to get paid, something for what he's done.
Well, you know what's going to happen, right? Fields has a Fields year where he's not good. You guys are in a position to draft a quarterback, and Arch stays in school.
Hey, it was not the first time since a Manning person with the last name of Manning wanted to evade the Jets. It'll be like 30. I think it's like 30 years. What was it? They had the first pick in '96. He evaded them. 30 years.
Yeah. I again, like you said, that contract's set up to be a bridge thing. Like it's
like if he plays good, then hey, all to it. Then hey, you could get him to an extension, maybe see a little bit more out of him. But if it's not, then hey, you just axe him and cut your ties and try to find the next guy.
Yeah.
Obviously, first time head coach, first time GM, trying to just go through the waters. But listen, hey, when a team signs a fullback in the offseason, like Andrew Beck, I mean, you're gonna be running that ball. This is gonna probably be up there. If they can succeed on offense, probably a top 10 rushing team in this league.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's going to be very established, especially after the season. And I think it's a bridge year for the passing offense. And maybe next year you can plug some dudes in and have a very complete offense. We'll see. Historically, the pattern goes for a New York football franchise. Probably
Shit.
But, it's set up. And that's what matters right now. That's as much as you can do.
Let's head over to the defensive side of the ball where they did make some moves. Andre Sisco, he returns to New Jersey where he grew up in his youthful years. Brandon Stevens, maybe an overpaid contract, but if he plays good, it'll be a very valuable contract. Thomas from Florida State was a big steal for the Jets in the 3rd round. Derek Nandi, they stole from the Chiefs. But you still have the key guys there. Will McDonald had a very good year for year number 2. Jermaine Johnson, unfortunately, tore the Achilles very early into the campaign last year. They were missing a edge guy. Quincy Williams, he returns for another year. CJ Mosley, I think, ended up retiring. So very big shoes to fill for Jermaine Sherwood, who has a lot of hype behind him, especially with this coaching staff. But yeah, DJ Reed, he goes to Detroit to replace Carlton Davis, who went to the Patriots. So it's just a big send-off rotation of people going around the Northeast. But yeah, what are we thinking with this one?
I mean, when it comes to the Jets, I always trust their defense will be good enough. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's just like it's this. What happens first? Does Brand Stevens make more money or have more holding penalty yards?
He might get more cooked yards. I'll put it on the cooked.
Like, oh man, like it's just the Jets are the Jets, and they just keep doing the same Jets things. It's just like I don't want to be mean, but
the goddamn Jets.
But
it's like, how have you guys not seen the same? It's like the Bears and these
listen, this stadium's built on an Indian burial ground. I'm gonna say it until I die. Okay, like that's just this team. Like, listen,
they just keep doing the same things over and over, expecting different results. It's like the Bears. It's like they do all the hiring and firing in the wrong cycle. The Jets, it's like have a defense that's too good to make your team bad enough to get a quarterback, and then you put weapons on and still never have a quarterback. And then even when you draft the wrong one.
Or you trade away the one because, one of your best friends is a CEO of a airplane company and you want to get his boy drafted pretty high in the draft. I'm not pointing fingers or anything, okay? I'm not. I'm
just trying to poke Will until he like snaps and just loses it right now in that segment.
Listen, I'm like, I think this defense could be really good. I don't think it's a middle of the road. I think it's like a higher middle, if that makes sense. I think it could be around like a 12 or 11
That's
ranked
my point.
defense.
It's like they're going to be good enough to win too many games.
Or they could still be good enough to run the football, which they probably will have to do with this team somehow, some way.
You guys had a great defense last year too, no?
The defense was good, but it did fall apart after Salah got fired, and the guy that they had filling in as interim was trying to, he was spread thin between what he was doing. So
Yeah, but like I fully expect Aaron Glenn to bring it back to what it was.
Yeah.
I think Aaron Glenn is a Parcells guy. When the Jets were hiring a guy, Bill Parcells said you should go and interview Aaron Glenn, which was one of his guys when he was the Jets head coach back in the mid to late 90s. So
I think it'll be a competent defense. It'll compete. It'll do, it's. I don't know.
he could bring in some winning ways from Detroit, maybe something that Dan Campbell taught him, gnawing off a femur and a shin bone.
Could be a tough defense. It really could like that. Yeah.
See, I love the angry defensive minded coach. Love it.
Oh, yeah.
Fangio, Campbell.
1,000%.
Like just the old curmudgeons that are angry and aggressive. Like, again, Salah was one of those guys. He was scary when he was on the Niners.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be scary again on the Niners this season. But this is their schedule. Those first 3 weeks are going to be absolutely brutal for the Jets, having to play Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers, and then you play the Bills at home, which they play really good against, and then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which I don't even know the last time they won in Tampa. I think it's like 2009. So having to go back-to-back in Florida is going to be pretty rough. 3 home games stand, but the middle game is in London, so you got to go away to come back home. Not even sure the last time they won in Cincinnati. I think that's another 2009. I'm going to just stamp it. I think this is a 6-win team, and I think it could shift 3 wins in either side.
That's not awful.
I say 6 wins. Maybe it could go up to 9, or it could go down to 3. That's like 6, middle of the road.
So we didn't say this a second ago when we were talking Patriots, but remember when I had that website up that kind of said the projected wins, losses, and odds and stuff based on the sports betting books and all that stuff, right? Okay, So I'll say the Jets first, and then we'll regroup with the Patriots for a second. But the Jets, like you said, 6 wins. They're projected 6.1 wins. So there you go. That's, right on par with what you said. And a 13% at playoffs.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
There is a 0.1% to make to win the Super Bowl. So you got that going.
There's a chance. I'm getting gaslit so much right now.
He's gonna put the bet slip in today.
That is the worst percent chance for the Super Bowl. Tied with
there's no team with 0, just like a 0-0.
There's never the season hasn't started yet.
You're telling me the Browns have a better chance?
No, tied chance. They have the same chance.
The Colts have the same odds too?
Colts? No, the Colts? No, not even a little bit. Actually, Colts are 25th. Yeah.
They got like what, 0.6?
0.7. You were close. That was good.
Jesus. But yeah, I think this is a 6-win team.
Yeah, well, that seems to be what the consensus is. Yeah. That's about right. Tell you what, they give the Patriots a lot of credit on here. They have the Patriots at 8.2 wins, which isn't exactly off from what we said.
Mm-hmm.
And a 36.5% chance at playoffs, which is decent. I would say a little bit generous, but okay. I'll take it, I guess. I don't know if I agree, but I'll take it. So that's cool. Whatever.
Let's ask the question. What will make this season successful for the New York Jets? Not crashing and burning?
Do you guys want to win games, or do you guys want a quarterback?
Both.
Correct.
I really think it's like a set. It's a bridge year. It's got to be a bridge year. There's no way it's not.
This is like where they get stuck in the Steelers purgatory.
Yeah.
Is which direction do you want to go? And here's where you pick it right now. Do you crash and burn this year, or do you screw yourselves again?
Knowing the Jets, they'll probably end up screwing themselves again.
Like either you start building some building block wins, or you bottom out.
Yeah.
I think a competitive defense, like the defense we kind of expect from Glenn. I think if you have the
And then you
defense,
have Steve Wilkes as the defensive coordinator, so he comes in as that mentor guy.
From those guys, the kind of what this team's defense has been over the last few years and whatnot, you get that defense, I think you're happy defensively. Offense, just establish the hell out of a sick run game. And then you can figure out the passing over the offseason next year. Like, or it works out great this year. Who knows? But that'd be ideal as hell. But you know, if all you have to figure out next year is what to do with your pass game, I think this is a successful season. Truly. If that's all that, if you come out of this season, feel great about the team, just got to plug some things in on the pass game. That's not bad. I don't think that's bad. What would be success for you, Will?
I don't know. I don't even know what the term success is with the Jets. I mean, come on. I was in middle school the last time they made the playoffs, okay?
Oh, that's
Jeez.
so rough. That's so
middle
rough.
school, and I'm getting married. Like, what the hell? Like, that's been so long. I don't even know what success is with this team. I got fantasy football rings up there. What is success?
You've been
I enjoy talking about all 31 other teams. You think I'm going to have fun talking about the Jets? Come on.
Oh, last year
my
I was genuinely concerned for your well-being.
Yeah, well, getting married, back-to-back fantasy championship. You have so much more success than they do.
Yeah, look, I have Bappel. That's my success right here. Is Bappel. That's success in my opinion.
And that's only limited success.
No, the Jets have to just be Bappel, okay? Just try to be a golden scar from Fortnite, okay? How about that?
There you go.
All right. I have enough of the Jets. Let's take our talents to South Beach here, where the Dolphins in 2023 saw the playoffs. They're trying to replicate success with a really good scoring offense in 2023, and their season really just started off on the wrong foot, especially right before week 1 where Tyreek Hill was detained and taken out of his car by police, which ended up hurting his wrist, affecting him for the entire year. Week 2 saw Tua have another concussion, which held him out for a lot of games. Quarterback play was just terrible from everyone else. Tim Boyle, Skylar Thompson, Snoop Huntley, the Pro Bowler, Snoop Huntley, might I add. Everything was just kind of going up in flames. 8-9 was their end record. Tua ended up sitting out for the rest of the season due to a hip injury. So Snoop Huntley was that. But can the Dolphins get back on track here as a seat there in Miami's warming up? And it's not the weather. We all know. McDaniel likes his he's not afraid of the cold, but his seat's getting hot here for Miami.
So these next two teams, I'm gonna have some fun.
Let's get.
I'm over the Dolphins. I'm over the hype. I'm over the look at all this talent. Look at this. Look at that. This team is soft. They're injury prone. They don't want to work. They're actively saying how there's culture issues. Like if you guys couldn't have a good defense and said kick rocks to Vic Fangio, who's currently looking like the defensive guru of the league, you deserve to be bad. Like, I think this experiment here is kind of done.
So the offense here, let me just wrap up this offense here. So they backup quarterback play was bad last year, so they bring in Zach Wilson from the Broncos, who concluded his rookie contract. Quinn Ewers from the Texas Longhorns. They also bring in the rap god himself, Darren Waller, who I'm still shaking my head about this move because in a McDaniel offense, West Coast style Shanahan offense, you got to run the ball, and he is not the run blocking tight end. He was near the bottom, essentially.
I don't think he plays 2 games. I'll be shocked if he plays 2 games.
They move on from Jeff Wilson and Raheem Mostert. So Achane and Jalen Wright are your running backs here. for the Dolphins, and they still have Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and one of my favorites, Nick Westbrook-Akine, who 40 catches last year, had 9 touchdowns off of that. So over 20% success rate ain't that bad. They also bring in a couple pieces there. Jonah Savina out of the draft, and then James Daniels from Pittsburgh to help solidify that offensive line, which also saw, man, I'm drawing a blank on what his name is. Teron Armstead, who retired last year, who had come out and said that he couldn't practice. He was just basically immobile until game days.
Yeah, that's wild. But like they always get like this really like good looking offense where you look at it, it's like, wow, they're gonna have those 70-point games versus the Broncos every other week. Because like you look down the roster and it's like good player, good player, good player, good player. And then what happens by week 8? It's like Akine had a great year. I love every single running back on this roster and a fullback. Like, looks good. And we all know Mike McDaniel can like really scheme up some plays. Like, it's pretty fun to watch just on a day-to-day basis, like breaking down plays. But I have zero concerns about this offense so long as Tua doesn't decide he's a fullback and get another concussion.
They really, I mean, some of this personnel moves, you can really tell, like they play to that identity so hard. I think Westbrook-Akine is a large factor in that. They really do have that identity, and it's pretty clear. And they only did things that keep that identity. I don't know. Apparently, James Daniels is pretty good, so there's that. Who knows with Darren Waller? Who knows? I don't even. Who knows?
I don't even think they really use the tight end anyway.
Yeah, exactly. That's the other part too.
If you're a blocking tight end, they will use them. It's like Gesicki, for example. They barely used him, and they used the other guy, Smythe, all the time because Gesicki couldn't block. But Waller couldn't block. I mean, he said he retired because the Giants wanted him to block. He didn't want to block.
Trade with the Raiders and actually get a blocking tight end.
Right? You would think. But it's, I don't know. This is cool. Like the offense should be the offense, I guess, that we saw last year was a little bit concerning at times, even with Tua in though. So I don't know. But then they had good games. So like whatever. I don't know, man. I
just think at their core, they're not a winning team.
Not a winning mentality.
Like they don't have that mentality. They have that South Beach, Miami. We don't really care. We're gonna.
They got to the playoffs the one year. They're kind of like, okay, yeah, we did it. Been there, done that. Did it 2 years in a row. Okay, and they just, I
think they're soft.
Tell you what, it's kind of funny because Jake started saying that stuff. Then I went on Google and I Googled Miami Dolphins culture issues. And I tell you,
it's out there everywhere. The players are shooting their mouths off about the coach.
Look at how much Google AI gave me. A long list of issues with their culture and stuff, and highlighting a ton of different subjects. So, I mean, that's definitely concerning. I think that's pretty wild. And it is. The first thing is softness, lack of accountability. Yeah, there's a lot of.
I also kind of think that Tua should retire.
Everyone thought that last year.
I really think, like, dude, what are you doing to yourself? But it's not my life.
Literally. Defense?
Let's go to the defensive side of the ball here, where they trade away Jalen Ramsey. They reacquire Minkah Fitzpatrick from the Steelers, who hasn't been there since 2019. There are a lot of changes here. One of my biggest questions here is going to be the secondary. How are they going to, react to a corner like Jalen Ramsey, who's not there anymore? Who's going to be the guy that steps up? Jalen Phillips, I don't know how much he played last year along with Bradley Chubb because they were coming off Achilles injuries, if they even played. So another year returning. So I think they can honestly return the form, especially, the added months removed from that injury. So maybe they can honestly get back to that form. But yeah, Matthew Butler from the Raiders, Willie Gay from the Saints, Ashton Davis from the Jets, and then Artie Burns who played in with the Seahawks last year. I don't got a whole lot for this defense. I don't know who the defensive coordinator is, so that's even the worst part about me. I try to make sure I know all this, and sadly, I do not.
You got it down?
What?
The coordinator?
No.
I was looking up how many games Jalen Phillips played.
I want to know where this team. Oh, okay.
Which it was 4.
Last year.
Yeah.
He did not play that much. Injuries, the name of the game.
That's the name of the game with this team. It's like you look at we do their depth chart every year here, and it's like, wow, this looks like a good team. They could go far, so long as they stay healthy. And then they end up either imploding, hating each other, and all getting these awful injuries, like every year.
You guys say that. I'm very on record being against all of what you just said. So I don't know. They had a 4th best defense last year in the league when you're talking yards, touchdowns. So like, I don't know where that came from because I didn't realize that as they were playing. That makes it harder to judge his defense, actually, to be honest with you. I don't know. It is kind of what you said. Well, I don't know. Whatever. 4th best defense. I don't even know how to judge that then. That's 4th best in defensive yards a game. They didn't let up that many touchdowns on the grand scheme of all these other teams last year. Like maybe top 5 in touchdowns let up last year. I don't know. That's tough. No, maybe top 3 in touchdowns let up last year. I don't know. I really have no clue how I want to judge this defense because I look at this defense personally, and it's like every other year. I'm not psyched about it, but it's not bad at all. Cool. I don't know. There's talent.
I'm just not falling for it again. I refuse.
Maybe it is a culture issue.
Could be.
I mean, genuinely, it's. I really do like McDonald, like you were saying. He's fun to watch on offense, but he doesn't scream hard-nosed coach, obviously.
Well, they had a very hard-nosed coach.
In Fangio.
And they
that's true.
couldn't stand him and said kick rocks when he was fired after 1 year.
Sorry, did we get a Dolphins DC yet?
I thought we were waiting for you to give us the Dolphins DC.
We were waiting for me. My bad. It's the same guy as last year. Anthony
Weaver?
Yeah, sorry. I don't know what just happened to me.
It's his first time.
First time.
I'm kind of tired of this defense. Just go to the schedule here.
Amen.
Which I couldn't find a wide schedule, so this is what it is here. White is home, and then I don't even know. I don't even know what color that is. The other one's away. The darker one's away. So, yeah. I think they could win off the bat week 1 against the Colts. I think that they should be able to win that game. I think they could be 2-0 before they go to week 3, where they have to play the Bills in Buffalo. I don't know. I think this is like a 9-8 team or a 10-7. If everything goes according to plan, which is no one strangles each other, and they make it out alive. And when I ask you the question, will make this team successful? Just don't strangle each other. That's
playoffs.
Playoffs, dude.
Like,
you have to compete in playoffs.
Holding it together.
Yeah. Not even just playoffs. Like I want a competitive playoff game at the very least, you know, like this team, there was so much hype about this team when this team was assembled.
There should be now. Look at the roster again.
Yeah.
Like,
but what, 3 seasons ago assembled? Or 2? Has it been 2 seasons of Tyreek or 3?
3.
All right, so man,
the big year was like 2 years ago.
You're on your 4th season of this hyped up, sick offense with the head coach for it. And like Tua's talented enough, I guess, and then like the speed and the running game, and you ultimately have zero accomplishment to show for it now, and you're going into your 4th season of it, and that's a big issue. That is a big issue to me. So,
and the thing is, like, I don't even blame them for that playoff loss because it was like -30.
I don't either.
All the beers were frozen.
But going into your 4th season, you still have to have more.
They put up more. They put up more fight against the Bills and Buffalo than they did against the Chiefs. But obviously, that's a 50-degree temperature swing. It was still cold in Buffalo.
That was tough, man.
I've been in -30-degree weather. It's painful just to be outside, and so I'm not going to blame anybody for honestly just quitting that game. Not going to blame them. It's literally your skin hurts being outside.
Yeah.
But then you can't follow that up with a year like last year. I know injuries again happened, but you can't. It just can't happen.
Also, at some point, yeah, I get the cold thing, but like at some point, you got to be over that narrative, man, because it's just like we get to the back end of every single season, and it's like, oh, they're playing them in the cold. Game over.
Yeah, the games are going to be in the cold.
Like you're in the AFC East. I mean, then propose a realignment. I don't even know what to tell you. Like it's the narrative's got to end at some point, or you got to get tired of it. You got to. It can't just be a narrative every single year, man. You got to be over it. I'm pretty over it. I don't know. Whatever.
Else.
As far as sports betting goes, as far as like the odds for the things, it's the exact line as the Patriots. 8 wins.
See, I had 8.
35% for playoffs. So it's pretty actually a percentage less than the Patriots for playoffs. It's pretty spot on to what the Patriots are. So I guess that's middle of the road for this division.
Let's go from South Beach. We're going to go back up. Dom, before we start, though, you make sure you get the wheel ready.
Oh, it's ready.
Oh, it's ready. Okay.
Always.
As long as we don't have the NFC East next week, that's all that matters. Let's make Jake wait. So a year ago, the Buffalo Bills, they won the division, and they were looking to repeat the division. Josh Allen wins an MVP, so finally silence the haters. Wins the most valuable player award, 28 touchdowns plus another, I think, like 15 rushing touchdowns. He was on fire on both ends of the football. Bills looked really good overall. James Cook, 17 touchdowns last year. I think he had like 1,500 rushing yards. He was having a career year for the Bills. Unfortunately, fell short in the AFC Championship game against the Kansas City Chiefs. But 2025 kind of looks like a little bit of the upside here for Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. As we shift over to the offense here, they've revamped the receiving core. They acquired Amari Cooper late in the year last year. He's currently a free agent. They bring in Josh Palmer, who's a great possession guy, like an Amari Cooper. Elijah Moore comes in from the Browns. Laviska Shenault, another year. What can Laviska Shenault do? Can he make a team? Can he make some sound waves in this league? What can he do? But other than that, it's really a lot of the same guys. I mean, offensive line still there from Deion Dawkins to Spencer Brown. James Cook, is he going to report? Is he going to get a contract extension? Those are questions you have to ask as well. Ray Davis, Ty Johnson as the backups there. But yeah, that's all I got there. Dawson Knox, Dalton Kincaid. Gentlemen, this is just the same offense as last year. There's nothing really should change, so it should be another easy sailing year for them.
I love, and this has nothing to do with the team, I love that this website just takes some people's names and writes it in all caps. Like when I look at this depth chart and Mitchell Trubisky and Mike White is being yelled at me, it's funny. That's all I got. I don't know. The offense is going to be the same. I have no cool. You don't have Amari Cooper. You have guys that can still catch the ball and do a good job. Ultimately, they just need to have the same year. James Cook is really the only question mark, the only factor on this offense that should be any different, and that's if he's going to be there or not, and that's it. So,
I think he will be there. He'll just be a shut in. a close in, not close out, a close in. So he'll be at the camp, so he won't get fined for not being there. So he's just gonna.
Yeah, but he needs to play. I'm talking about in games. You need him to play. He was a gigantic factor last year.
What do you mean? You got Frank Gore Jr., you got Ray Davis, you got Ty Johnson, Darrington Evans. You got a lot of guys. Reggie Gilliam. You got a lot of guys here.
But James Cook was a large factor last year. I mean, I felt like every night game.
I think he was more important than Josh Allen.
Yes, I think so too. And I think he is partially a reason why Josh Allen had such a great year, even on the ground, is because there are so many dimensions of this defense. I mean, you could have Dawson Knox, short route on this side, James Cook, wheel route, short route over here, or whatever. I mean, Amari Cooper, even. You had depth on the offense. There was a lot to break down for every play for any defense. There's a lot of opportunity for anyone on this offense to shine at any given moment. And James Cook was a big part of that. I felt like every night game we watched, it was like James Cook touchdown after James Cook touchdown. Dynamic, catching the ball, running the ball. He was a gigantic part of the offense last year. And I think that is, again, I think the biggest factor here. This offense should be just as good as last year, if not better. And that's if James Cook plays from week one.
I mean, I really like the receiving core, though. It's really deep. Last year, it was like, okay, you got Keon Coleman. What else?
It is really deep, to be honest. I do like Elijah Moore being there, even as a deep part of the.
I like my Terrapin being there. Caden Prather. Go Terps.
Dude, I didn't see that name on here.
Third
receiver, top.
Oh, yeah. All right, ready? Defense?
Let's go to the defense here. We got to talk about the two elephants in the room there. Larry Ogunjobi, Michael Hoyt, suspended 6 games due to PEDs. So that automatically just eliminates some pass rushing help. But still, Greg Rousseau, Daquan Jones, Ed Oliver, they bring in Joey Bosa, who was cut by the Chargers this year. They draft Maxwell Hairston at the end of the first round in the draft this past year. Trey White returns to Buffalo after bouncing around the league for a little bit. Yeah, this is still a lot of the same for just a lot of the same on defense. They, bring back in Dane Jackson, TJ Sanders, a second round pick. They have a lot of guys that they know, like, okay, we're going to be losing out on these guys. So let's kind of draft some young guys. These are 1 year guys, especially Ogunjobi and Bosa. So it really looks like this team wants to blitz the football from how deep they are on the defensive front, especially in that front 4. So they do want to bring in a lot of pressure, it seems like.
I think that's cool. All the names and all the additions, all the stuff. But a lot of the factor guys from last year are still there. You have the Ed Oliver, you have Matt Milano, you have Epinesa. There's a lot of these guys are still there. So whatever happens with the suspensions and this and Joey Bosa, who knows, whatever, I don't know if it's incredibly that much of a factor. I don't know. Maybe after 6 games they get better because of those 2 dudes. I don't know. I really kind of think it'll be mostly the same. I don't think there's really any crazy, this team's going to be much worse, much better action happening. So I still think it's a team that's just going to do well against divisional opponents still. And when the division, they're going to be in a playoff spot. It is what it is. I don't really think there's much to say about the regular season for this team. That's it. I don't know.
I'm biting my tongue.
I don't got a lot else to say, but
I really don't think there is much to say, to be honest. Because again,
it all just comes down to the fact that clown McDermott can't win games.
Yeah,
he's an overrated coach, and Josh Allen's going to get overhyped every year because he puts up insane stats, and if he doesn't turn the ball over, he'll have a good year. But then he will choke when it matters.
Yeah, exactly.
You can okay, cool. Yeah, you won your Super Bowl in whatever week 10, whatever it was when you played the Chiefs, and then you throw this. You don't see a full one side blitz coming in the time when they're gonna blitz. You just throw up a prayer that doesn't have a chance. When this team will I don't think they're gonna get over that hump. I don't see it.
But analyzing this team, especially regular season, giving them the amount of wins, whatever, I think it's just whatever. When it comes time for it to matter down the stretch in January, that's all that really matters here.
Yeah. So
because they're going to win the division, usual stuff.
They're going to put up, 12 wins at a minimum. They're going to,
Yeah. You're going to hear about them all year. You're going to hear Sports Center, pumping their tires, how they're the best team in the league, and then they'll lose 26-20 to the Chiefs.
Yep. I mean, that's ultimately, or the Bengals. I'd be sick. But
much better.
But ultimately, it's going to come down to that playoff game down the stretch after the regular season. I think that's ultimately just where we are with this team.
And it's not even like you can say oh, well, do what you can to be the one seed. Doesn't matter if you play in, in Buffalo or in Kansas City. Because
at least not the weather.
I'm not even talking about the weather. The result is the same.
Yeah, that's also true.
Let's look at the schedule for a quick second.
Yeah, go for it.
Big rematch. The Mark Andrews drop game, week 1. Big one there. But, man, playing 4 games in the first 5 weeks at home, I mean, that kind of kills off the Buffalo momentum where, okay, we have to have these guys come in. They're going to play in the cold. Yes, you have the Chiefs in week 9. You have the Buccaneers in week 11. Then you have the Bengals who return up to Buffalo again. And then it's the Eagles and the Jets. And by that point, it's okay, what, the Eagles and the Bills, for example, what have you achieved so far in the season? The playoff select, cool. No Jalen, no Josh Allen. Here's Mike White and Mitch Trubisky. Have fun.
Maybe. I mean, there's enough. Did you count?
No, not yet.
It's gonna be. It's 12 wins.
Yeah, I mean that's how I feel.
I was gonna make the point. It always seems like late in the year Buffalo gets better because everyone has to come to their cold stadium, and then the teams that are out of it, they don't want to play in there. So having that many front-loaded home games kind of sucks for them, but I don't think it really matters.
I think they're undefeated bye week, cool, and then they obviously win against Carolina, and then they're oh, Chiefs, here's our Super Bowl. Honestly, they might lose that just because they've been undefeated.
And it's going to be 7-0, and the Chiefs are probably going to be 6-1.
Exactly.
And it's here we go. And I actually think the Bills will probably win that game because in the regular season, it's we lost them again. Here's our Super Bowl.
Yeah. I think this is just going to be the season that we see from the Bills for the last few seasons. So whatever. Again, I don't know really what else to say about this team.
I have nothing else to say about the team.
Analytical standpoint, which is what we're doing here on this show, and
then game plan wise, they're gonna get smacked in the playoffs because McDermott's a clown.
And that's pretty much it. That's the only thing that matters. That hump is the only part of this season. You could be in cruise control for this whole season, have a great season. That's cool. Do it again. And then
how about you actually get,
you got to get there.
How many times are they going to run the tush push this year? How many times are they going to run the tush push this year?
What do you mean?
Because they ran it all last year and one of the teams wanted to ban it because it's so unstoppable. But if it was unstoppable, they would have beat the Chiefs.
That's a good point, actually. I don't know. Whatever. The Bills are just going to be the Bills that we call the Bills. Hey, it's cool. They're are they number 1? Yeah, they're number 1 on the whole in the whole.
The Bills every year are so overrated, and they're a joke.
They have them every year. 11.5 wins, 83% at playoffs, 11% for winning the Super Bowl, which is actually 3rd on the list.
Cool. You have to actually make the Super Bowl first to win it.
Let's go to our next favorite segment in the entire world, the wheel. Now that the AFC East is done, now we could go over and find which team or teams actually, or which division we're going to be talking about next week.
And now it's time for me to get punished for all my shit talking.
There we go. Ah,
That was really funny. All right, AFC or
there we
NFC?
go. Let's go. Spin it. Click it
We only
twice.
have
or
2
something.
AFC teams or 2 AFC divisions left. We have all 4 NFC left.
Click it twice.
And
If,
bang.
if that's a thing.
I clicked it like 5 times.
Okay, here we go. Where are we going? Where are we going? It looks like we're going to be heading to the National Football Conference, and I'm going to put all the money in the world that we're going to be stuck with the South.
Yeah, we're gonna go to the South. You just know.
All the money's going to be stuck in the South. Here we go. Let's see.
It would be really funny if Colton joined at this moment and we got
Let's think of Colton in this moment. NFC South, 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 South. Damn it!
Wow,
we're doing the-
really?
We're doing the South. We're doing the South.
This is better than winning a Super Bowl.
This this was worst case scenario for Will, I think.
I wanted the NFC South because I know Colton will be on next week, so at least then he had something to look forward to and just say, you know what? Not coming in. He's stuck in traffic still, I think.
I don't have to wait till September.
Yeah, I tell you what, we ran through our teams. This is gonna be the first time we don't talk about our teams in August ever. So
Yeah.
that's cool. All right, go next. New York bad team. Cool. Knock those ones out right away.
That wheel is a tougher opponent for me than the Chiefs.
Follow us on subscribe to us on YouTube for the Fan Network, TikTok. Follow us for the Fan Network, X for the Fan _ and Instagram for the Fan Football. Next week, the Giants, the Commanders, the Eagles, and the Cowboys are all on tap here. So Jake's happy. I really wish we got the South, but at least Colton has something to look forward to when we talk about the Falcons for another 38 minutes at some point down the road. Very exciting times.
I still say that when we have to do the double record for when we're away, we should just knock out the 2 South teams or South divisions just right then and there and just.
No, I need something that's going to be good, whether it's like the AFC West or I don't know, something that's not the Souths. Because I have to talk about them for an hour apiece. I'm going to be just lose it. I'm going to lose my shit. I can't do it.
One of them has to be one of those teams. So just like as a warm up.
It's true.
But as always, I'm Will. That's Don. That's Jake. Every Wednesday through football season, 29 weeks of pure fun and excitement. We get to talk about foosball. So tune in next week. Thank you all for joining. Tune in next week. Thank you very much.